has finally come where we get to hear what Dance Gavin Dance, the prodigal sons of swan-core and post-hardcore, and the guys really stewarding everything that we know to be eclectic rock at this point. I'm no stranger to Dance Gavin Dance. When I first got into them during acceptance speech, there was all this concern of, now Johnny Craig is out of the band. What are they going to do? What does it mean for Dance Gavin Dance to have their sound change so much? And I fell in love with sort of the Kurt era, the emotional elements of it. The lyrics were a lot more to the core of you. And I think Happiness is an absolute great album. You can really see John Mess kind of progressing, and then he disappears from the band for that album. He comes back and is kind of on the same level, but then every album after Acceptance Speech, you hear John Mess coming more and more into his own. So Afterburner, launched during this entire COVID-19 epidemic, and everybody was just waiting, and it's awesome. And as a musician myself, I'm a big fan of everything that they have. They have adopted this mentality, which has been mentioned by numerous kind of frontmen, bands like Bring Me the Horizon, Ronnie Radke from Falling in Reverse. They're all kind of doing this approach of really releasing a staggered amount of singles. The momentum dies down from the first single, then the next one will pick it back up again, and then blasting out there with an album. Dance Gavin Dance did it right. So let's go and listen to each song, kind of evaluate them, and let's talk about the album as a whole. Prisoner. So embarrassing. So you hear in this song that it's a very mature sound coming out of Dance Gavin Dance. This song feels like an evolution of where they were supposed to be at this point in time. You can hear the lyrics are very mature, a little more understanding of how the world really works. But then musically, you hear very ethereal vocals. They're nice and airy. They're that Tillian signature sound that you're kind of used to. But I'm also feeling a lot of like Tides of Man remnants in his delivery. This is an absolutely excellent track. You hear that nice wah pedal from Will Swan that he's going in nice and hard, and he's just letting you know, hey guys, don't forget, I'm still here. So this is kind of that signature Dance Gavin Dance, like, hey, I'm a little cocky, my name's Tillian, I'm just going to give you the best of what I got. But then John Mess coming in with his very interesting kind of approach. And what's beautiful about this song is how much the two of them play off of each other. This answer, question, that they got going on in the chorus section. I believe he's saying something about kissing his sister, and this is just another breakout track from this album. You hear a lot of these like callbacks in this song too to Tillian's kind of Tides of Man, really pushing his vocals and screaming a bit more. I get it. I appreciate what Dance Gavin Dance is trying to do here. They're branching out. They're trying to show you what else they got. And they definitely don't want someone to say that they were not taking risks on this album. And I appreciate a risk. Absolutely. But I'm not really feeling this one. Growing up with a lot of Spanish speakers, living with Spanish speakers, and speaking Spanish myself, I find that his pronunciation on some words is a little cringy. It's hard to remove myself and just absorb it as a song. Feels a little arrogant, and it definitely feels like what would be crazy if we just made it in Spanish. And that's fine. I get it. But, you know, do a little more for me than that. Whoa. The big part of this song that's really cool is how melody driven it is by that one. It propels the song and it really carries it through with some sort of constant melody there. But I feel like the lyrics are a little bit lazy. Oohs and ahs and just like kind of sounds, which is very 30 Seconds to Mars for me. Okay, yes, Johnny Craig is tons of like just dragging out like a word, but at least he's like saying something in those things. Multiple stab wounds part is awesome. Again, John Mess is really bringing it home. Will Swan seems like he's taken a little more of a backseat in the song, only because it feels like it's meant to be more melody driven and very poppy. Matt Mingus, he's kind of phoning in the drums a bit. What was cool about Dance Gavin Dance is like, you know, the screaming vocals could have nothing to do with the sung vocals and you'd still have an awesome song. These lyrics kind of feel a little more juvenile than I'm used to. Here we go. I'm getting a lot of happiness vibes from this song. It's really cool, and that nice big intro is really refreshing. That nice palm muted guitar work that's going on there from Will Swan is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I think this song is really, it's hitting it on the nose. It's very powerful. It pumps you up in a way that Dance Gavin Dance likes to do. There's really nice shifts and balance. Overall, this is just great songwriting. The concentrate, conglomerate, you know, rhyming things with 8. It's a little lazy, but I get what they're doing in the John Mess sort of work. He'll just say things and string them together because they sound good, right? Having Tillian do that is a little different, which I appreciate. But again, it's almost like they're blending their rules together a bit. That nice crescendo and that outro is just beautiful. Now we got Parody Catharsis. Wow, Parody Catharsis. Now that's a song. We got beautiful drum work from Matt Mingus. It's like they finally let him out of his cage for this song. In for a treat with Will Swan rapping again, which we haven't heard in a while. The composition of this song is excellent. It seems like him and the drummer and Tim Furyk, everyone is just really in sync on this song. It's really nicely crafted. This is definitely one that they took their time on. Strawberry's Wake. So, you know, we've had Death of a Strawberry, which is arguably the best track on Instant Gratification. It's very tight. The songwriting is excellent. John Mess kind of pushing the limits on what he does with his screaming vocals, making him very tonal. And you kind of hear, and I hate to harp on it again, but you kind of hear some Tides of Man influence. It seems that Tillian on this album overall, and you saw that very obviously in Artificial Selection, but on this album overall, it seems like he's having a lot more influence in the songwriting. Experimenting with the rules of how these guys deliver some of their choruses is nice, and this song is an excellent portrayal of that. That intro is just awesome. It is totally punch in your face, the heavy stuff that we love when it comes to John Mess. That is totally Secret Band. That is Secret Band written all over it. Okay, so this is totally a Tides of Man inspired song. I'm saying it again. Lyrics, a part of the Tides of Man song. The construction and the way his voice is kind of singing in that chorus, this is so weird. It's like a secret band and Tides of Man clash. Oh my god. John Mess, Secret Band. Secret Band was made when Johnny Craig, got kicked out of the band. And so they had to perform as Secret Band. Oh, it's all making sense. Really love how heavy it is. I don't like the lyrics of the whole "honestly, you always knew that I'd prevail." That's in the melody of a Tides of Man song, by the way. I've definitely heard that before, and if I'm wrong, comment below. The lyrics feel a little petty here. I get it. There's definitely speculation that this is geared towards Johnny Craig. Alien's approach is a diss track towards Tides of Man. What John Mess is saying feels like it's going after Johnny Craig because he mentions a scam. We all know the MacBook situation, but like the weird part for me is that it's like, why are they doing this? It feels a little immature. It feels a little disjointed. There's like a hostility in there that doesn't need to be there. It's kicking these people while they're down. It's not like Johnny Craig is more successful than they are right now. And it's definitely not like Tides of Man is more successful without Tillian. Again, their lyrical content is whatever they want it to be. The lyrics are kind of corny, too. It's like, I am biology, it's biology, you were born to fail. Tillian, you could do better than that, man. It's weird. Whatever. That's what makes me think that this song wasn't necessarily written for Tides of Man and Johnny Craig, but who knows? You see Tillian online, he's fighting with Trapped all the time. Who knows where his head's at? Young women or men or whoever are into him, they just find him very attractive. But let's not forget, when he looked like that. That really crunchy guitar, the it's very interesting to hear Dance Gavin Dance try an intro like this. Got my boy Matt with the salt shaker over there. This is a very John Mess heavy song. I'm picking up what he's putting down, let's just say. I'm very impressed at his range and his growth on this album. Yeah, Night Sway. I think this is probably one of the weaker songs on the album. Night Sway is just not doing it for me. It feels kind of corny. It's nothing new. It's nothing really expensive on their style. It feels like something that could have easily come off of Artificial Selection. Definitely the best song on the album. 100,000%. That is the evolution of Dance Gavin Dance that I was expecting. That growling scream that he's doing is incredible. And just the song, you just want more. That's the point. That's what I expect from these guys after all these years. This kind of pointed approach and basically saying, like, in the most blithe way possible, am I normal? I don't know. It's really good. Next is Nothing Shameful, which features Andrew Wells from Idola, who was in, probably the best song on Artificial Selection, if you ask me. I love certain elements of it. Again, it feels like, Matt Mingus is kind of phoning it in on the drums again. And, Will Swan and Tim, their playing is kind of predictable on this as well. Tillian is totally outshined by Andrew Wells. Honestly, on this song and the last song he was featured on, because it's just so refreshing to hear someone else singing on the track. Overall, it's not my favorite. It's very, very good, and it's definitely one of the keepers on my download list. And then the last song to finish it out is Into the Sunset, which is featuring Bill Murray. This kind of trap music with the cymbals and electric drums is very interesting. It's definitely new for them. Stick around, get stuck. You're a clown now, you're a clown now. I like it. It's cool. It makes me hate myself. Maybe I should quit my job or quit this or do whatever. I'm stuck. I don't know. But it's interesting, right? This is an evolution, and we can't blame a band for taking risks. I'll say that again and again. If the risks make sense, if I can draw logic from your risk, fine. It's a good track. I wouldn't have finished on it. It's definitely on the better half of the album. So there we have it, folks. That is Afterburner by Dance Gavin Dance. Did I love the album? Fundamentally speaking, I love everything Dance Gavin Dance puts out. I can't complain because they're one of the few in the game that's really trying and they're putting stuff out there. Now, is there a sense of complacency on this album? Yes, but less than in Artificial Selection. What I found to be especially compelling about this album versus Artificial Selection is the risks here were much more drastic, and they were also kind of an ode to their musicianship and their craftsmanship, and it felt like a stronger evolution of their sound. Is this the next Mothership? Probably not. Will there ever be another Mothership? I don't know. Lyrically, there is a sense of complacency. Probably people will kill me for saying this, but maybe Tillian is kind of struggling. Maybe life is pretty good for him right now, or maybe he's like filled with a lot of hate. There's a lot of angst on this album, which feels like unwarranted. I mean, these guys are in their 30s. It's like kind of don't have a need to be so angsty. And I never got the vibe in any of their earlier albums that they were just so hateful or spiteful. In the Johnny Craig era, there's a lot of tracks that are very kind of upset or heartbroken. And then in the Kurt era, there's a lot of like depressing tracks and a lot of self-reflection. Tillian era, you definitely have a little more confidence and you have a lot more, I don't know, a way to get in your pants. They just feel kind of corny to a degree. The musicianship is really good. There are some definitely standout tracks on this album. Prisoner is totally one of them. So what am I going to score it? I think I'm going to give this album an 8 out of 10. It's definitely better than Artificial Selection, but it's not where I was hoping it would be as a collective unit. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you totally hate me, let's go. Let's go to town. Make sure you subscribe. You click that like button. Maybe I'll come out with some more stuff. Check out my Instagram account, Ramen Reviews NYC, and maybe we'll expand and we'll do a lot more reviewing on different things. So I thank you, and I appreciate the time that you took to listen to this. Dance Gavin Dance, if you're out there and you're watching this, I really appreciate you making music and distributing it at a time that is much needed, and thank you. Wow, that was great. Like it, comment, subscribe. Wow, bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.